Hello there, I am LordMaddog and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. Last time, we basically did a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff. We tried to build a flyer for Duna yet again, and it wasn't a big success. Then we edited we tried to complete a mission for fly around fly around the moons of Jewel, but as it turns out that mission requires you to complete all the moons of Jewel at the same time to actually be complete, which is totally weird and fascinating at the same time. Anyway, this time I know we said we're going to actually get the Explorer, but off screen I made a working flyer for Duna using regular old rockets. Should have done that in the first place. It's got about just as much delta V as the flyer here would have done. So first off, I'm finished with this thing here. Increase the speed so you guys don't have to. Put the little note up there and it's 4 times speed so you guys know. Okay, so I spawned this thing and let it fill up. This is I was trying to have a different type of thing, and maybe even try to launch it into space. That's what I was thinking about, maybe launch it into space. So as I removed that around, okay, and I tried it, it didn't work. I just skip forward. It's not worth the time. You are wasting your time from activate transmitter here. Wait. Longing for it. Activate transmitter. Beam power. Deactivate. Oh wait, no. So this is well, like I said, skip forward. You don't want to watch me here. Once again, I did it. Now I have a better facing and I have a 33 efficiency, but still no power from it. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, see, still kilowatts. No kilowatts, 0 kilowatts power. That doesn't make any sense. Even though you have a perfect connection, yeah, whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead and build my rocket. Toy flyer rocket. This time I remembered to put the ending on the right end. All I did is just change out the tops. The engines more or less, and change over the fuels. Oxidizer, fuel, there we are. Oxidizer, fuel, electric charge, yep. There we go. Oops, I blew off the front wheel. Let's reload. Speed up again till it's done, and then we'll go ahead and reposition it out there. Finalize build. Spawn. We're going to put it out. There we are. Now we dropped it down. Activate. And save. SSA. Here we go. And we have a thrust to weight. I didn't realize that the thrust to weight ratio here was so high. It was a 2 point. It was almost 2 on Kerbin, and it flew amazingly well. However, here, not so well. I didn't realize that the atmosphere was so thin and the weight so heavy. So while this thing works, it doesn't fly very well. So that was, and I need to get a straight. So I reload and try a straight. I'm going to reload here in a sec. Okay. I ran out of fuel and then I reload. Alright, here we go again. Launch number 3. Try. The power of reload, which would actually be the most powerful superpower if there ever was one. If you could save points in your life, like all the way back to baby, and then reload at those points of life, knowing what you know now, you could beat anybody, period. Because if you load all the way back to your baby, you could Find the person who becomes your arch enemy and make him a friend, or eliminate him. I mean, basically time travel, but because you can save and reload, it's better than time travel. Alright, so I found a straight launching pad and I flew. And yes. However, the range on this thing isn't all that great. Even though I've got a nice lift off, I'm in the air, I've got some decent flight, I'm more than 2K away. The only problem is where I want to go is more like 30K away. And as you see, I've almost run out, I'm already down to 300 almost on Delta V. So flying on Duna is not going to really happen. From what I mean, on Eve is not going to really happen. I mean, I can make a bigger ship with a more Delta V, but it's not going to go anywhere, sadly. But I do count this as a success. Yes, I do count this as a success. And for, we're just going to get the boom. We got the seismic data. We can get something out of it, because it wasn't getting any new science this year. Cannot switch while on a moving part. Oops, wrong one again. I needed to actually delete those. There's no reason to have those. I already got the amount of data from them. But well, okay, here. Collect seismic data. 300. That was worthwhile, I think. That's more than I got if I would have actually made it to the water. And here we are. I'm going to fill up my lab once again. Send anything that I didn't send. I still don't see how there's a 100 one that I didn't send some time ago. I'm sending even off the 25s now, though. Just because I'm pretty much done with Eve. I'm not sure what else to do with these guys. I mean, they don't build fast enough to be to anything productive, and there's no way I'm going to get them to take off. There's just no way. Nothing to build. There's just nothing I can build that'll help them. Now, in real life, they might be able to, I could send them schematics to build themselves a 3D printer, which would increase increase the speed at which they can print and build things, and eventually build bigger and bigger 3D printers of some type and build a factory there with the two. It might take them a couple years, but they could build a factory that was able to pump out a lot of stuff and be able to build some type of elaborate liftoff craft. To be able to bring themselves back from Eve. But at the moment, there is no such thing. Even if I build the base lag reducer, that wouldn't help them much, because they don't even use the amount of ore and stuff they're gathering right now. So, Eve base, it looks beauty. It's very small, compact. It's good, but it's nothing worthwhile. It looks pretty. It's actually really pretty. I like it. Alright, enough gazing and thinking about it. Time to go back to the Space Center. Or no, Minimus. Think we're going to go ahead and work on the Explorer. Mo, actually, think about it. We actually need to, Bob. We need to rescue Bob from planet Duna. So that's actually we're going to be the first mission for our Explorer. We're going to fly to Duna, produce a little rescue craft for Bob. And it's going to basically just be a little rescue craft. You know, really easy, small, but it's got to be able to go retrograde and get into the orbit around where he's at, and then be able to lift him off. So that's what we're going to do. Build a rescue craft for Bob. I'm going to skip forward and tell you the basics about it. Alright, so here is my fuel tanks and my engine. They're small, they've been reduced in size, and there's battery power there, and those things right there, rapid fuel tanks, make sure I have a decent amount of thrust to weight ratio, and fuel ratio. That I have the re-entry thing too, so my probe core doesn't blow up. And we got we're gonna need some type of landing gear. There we go. And that is my Duna Bob rescue craft. I even got a probe core in there upside down and power, and just in case, well, I'm gonna put one in there right now, just in case. That way I can actually get to try to get what is it called? Not rendezvous. No, that's not the right one. I want that underneath, yeah, upside down. So we could try to use the land at target feature for what is it called? Mech jab, because my target feature is always, my land at target feature just does not work. So it's always going the opposite. So I figure if I make a craft with an upside down it might make it enable me to oh wait, yeah, okay, work and get that, because maybe that's what I think it might be. Alright, so that's my craft. I'm going to add ladders to it, so just in case he can't get up in it. And now we're going to go back to Duna. Not Duna, we're going to go back to Minimus. My Minimus base. Yes. That broke off. How come I'm not surprised? Still don't know what that was. EVA, let's go ahead and grab that thing so it doesn't break off and fall away. I need that. Oops. There we go. There's the Explorer, 9 days left on it. Black coal. And skip forward until I start speeding up. Looking at it. And skip forward. There we go. We are now speeding up. Over there in the corner, you can see I built a little Bob rescue because I thought I would attach it to the ship, and then I realized no, I don't really want to do that, and I end up leaving it there. So the Explorer is done in 2 days. Now I just need to speed up again. Not sure why I did that. Oh yes, this is the time I realized that I want my ore. I don't want all those rocket parts. I had it all rocket parts. Now I realize, no, I want ore, because ore can become rocket parts. It also can become fuel, which I need that so I can actually build things like Bob's Rescuer, because Bob's things gonna need liquid oxygen, liquid fuel and oxidizer. So I decided I'm going to change all these things into ore. And I thought maybe about adding more ore tanks, and I decided no, that's not, no. So I'll skip forward in that, because I really don't change much here except for where that's sitting. And I go back out, which changing here wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Thankfully you can change ore tanks in while building. Now, level up crew. For some reason I lost productivity. I was at productive 55 and then went down and lost day, but it's okay. I just go ahead and speed up. And we will build the Explorer. And why didn't it show up? Come on. Here we go. Yeah, I don't want to put it there, I guess. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. I don't remember. There we go. The Explorer. Save. Ah, that's right, I moved it over here. But once again, it falls off. At least I'm pretty sure it falls off. Yes, it fell off. I cannot access it. So I need to move it yet again. It fell off and then decides to bust itself. This thing isn't building anything. So just put it on top of it. We have to grab it though. There we go. And attach. There we go. The Explorer in all of its big black nastiness. Build. Alright, board. Alright, first things first, we need to go around and change all these into ore and not rocket parts, because I don't need that many rocket parts. In fact, I don't want that many rocket parts. I want it mostly ore. But I leave the top rung all rocket parts. Just I do want it to be able to build anything at the time. And I'm not sure about the conversion rate of ore into rocket parts. I think rocket parts to thrust or to rocket part ratio, I think rocket parts end up being a lot less heavy. Okay, build a Bob rescue, which there's no reason to do that, but it just did. Okay, now here I transfer everyone over, and it takes a long time, so I will skip forward to everyone's transferred over, and then after I finally get everyone transferred over, I start trying to activate my engine, but my engine will not start, and I will just tell you why from right now, because I didn't have to get it basically start. You have to turn it. See, those receivers aren't working, not very well, but that's not the problem. Even with 1 megawatt of power, you can get this thing to start. Because of the 20 times ratio, and it probably would take. I would definitely have the power anyway, without near future electronics, because that thing's built would actually be producing like 60 watts instead of actually be 120 watts, and that would be enough too. So 6 watts is enough to get this thing to start. The problem is I did not turn the power control all the way up. I thought I had to have it turned it down. No, you got to turn the power control up to get it to start properly, because otherwise it won't start. It's got to kind of kickstart itself once it starts generating power, and then it'll just go boom and you get power. Yeah. So keep on transferring. Looking at ore tanks, making sure they're filling properly. Going around and activating all these things. Still transferring people. Still transferring people. Takes a lot of work to transfer this many people. As you can still see, my reactor hasn't started yet, and I was thinking it's because of a few things. It should tell me that the power was done. Another power. Black hole power here, and here I make my fatal flaw. Well, right there, as you see, I can't get in and out very easily. That was one of the major flaws with the thing, but here's my major flaw. I take the power beam wall black hole and I attach it to my ship. Okay, I did not know this, but interplanetary launch pads, or simple production rather this time around, makes it so the launch pads actually weigh as much as that unit would. So that launch pad that's attached to my ship weighs 800 and some ton. Well, more like 760 some ton. But yeah, so when I go to launch this thing, my Explorer, what happens is it decides it's not going to go straight up. It continuously flies to the side and flies to the side. And no matter what I did, overheat over there. Bug when you speed up. Okay, no matter what I did, I thought I had my engines in the wrong place or something. Still can't get this thing to activate, and no, of course not, because I didn't have to turn up the power, but I eventually figured it out. See, they're receiving 48 megawatts themselves, plus this 48 megawatts from that for the whole system's I'm gaining a decent amount of power. They're like 68 megawatts, which is, well, I'm not even going to 20 times that, but yeah. Still can't figure that out. Let me skip forward because you don't need to see me fiddling around and try to figure out why they wouldn't react. So I thought it wouldn't react, so I built a relay because I didn't think I was getting enough power. So I'll just go ahead and let you see that. And then I realized that I didn't have any actual fuel in my reactor. So I thought maybe that's why it wouldn't. See, there's no hydrogen there. No hydrogen. So I actually go ahead and I build another piece add-on. And all this time it's because I didn't turn up the power on it. It's kind of hilarious. There I built hydrogen. Finalized there because it's that type of hydrogen, and it would actually enable me to see, now this will automatically begin to fill, which will actually enable me to fill up my I thought I'd have to transfer it, but it automatically began to fill up. There, hydrogen filled up, because it recognizes them both the same. But I didn't have to do that. It'll work on all types of hydrogen, and I didn't know that. Still no power, and finally I think I click on it and turn the power up. No, I don't. There, I'm receiving 196 megawatts of power, which would be way more than enough to activate this thing. Jump forward. I'm going to try to release it and hope it works. Here is where I find out it's side heavy. And I'm like, what the heck? And it just crumbles over on the side, and I couldn't figure out why would it fall that way. I mean, maybe that hydrogen weighs more, so when I reload I don't make that hydrogen. Impact, hey! That was actually, well, that's an expensive impact. Destroyed my entire base. I'll let you see the explosion. It lags. Look at that beautiful picture. Take a screenshot, folks. Well, no, it's not a good screenshot because I have a lot of UI, but it's a big explosion. That lags out my computer, and even at 4 times speed, you guys can see how long it froze the computer. And yeah, still going. I thought I might have to restart my computer at this point. Oh wow, there you go. Whoa. Boom. Gratuitous explosions. There you go. Hey, but it's still halfway intact. I'm gonna skip forward. Not gonna waste your time with watching that. Well, kind of fun to see it explode. Okay. Alright, so reload again, because I didn't want to put that there. Still couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start. Another explosion. Boom. Hit the head ground. Oh, actually, I think I had got the power to start this time. Yeah, I had got it to start this time, but once again, it was super heavy on the side, and I couldn't figure out why was it doing that. So at this point, I'm like, oh no, I have to completely redesign it. I transfer him to there so he's easier to get to because he can't get in and out of the other thing. So yeah, transfer build air, and I decided to pull off these pieces. Except for he lost his inventory again, which is just peachy. So once again, another reload. And this is what you have to go through. Multiple trials in air when you build new ships. You spend 5 or 6 hours trying to figure out why a ship isn't working the way it should. So see, 80 some megawatts to power, but no power. But that's all again because I didn't turn the power up on my ship. There, finally activated. That's because I turned the power control all the way up. And now with X fusion mode, we have power. Well, actually, no, I need to change if not giving me full fuel power yet because I have to change the fusion mode. It's trying to work off of nothing. You got to change, after you get activated, you have to change the fuel a couple times to actually get it to work. There we go. I think I did it. Yep, I did. There we are. There. 900 megawatts to beam wall. And now I try to take off again to the same effect. I gotta get this thing out of the way. And grab this whole thing and I move it all the way over here. Move it out somewhere I don't need it. Okay. Now, here you get to see the actual first real launch of the Explorer. Control from here. Oh yeah, when you launch this thing, it's always controlling from the side. That's what I thought one of the main problem would be. Release. Or release. However, I don't think it actually took the or again for some stupid reason, but anyway. And now, right there, we have a problem. It's going to the side, and I can't figure out why. I thought maybe from control from here. But no, still going off to the side. Still going off to the side. And I can't figure out why. So I start shutting down the radio engines. Which should actually help. I mean, with you only have those 3 engines on that side, it's about enough thrust to not be a problem. However, it didn't work at all. Because that right there, it makes it super heavy. So I think I have to go back to the design board. So I go spend 5 or 6 hours working on it again, which I do come out with a little bit better design. I get rid of the radiators and make it better looking and reposition the things. And you guys don't want to see me do it though, so I'm going to skip forward. This is another launch. I'm going to show you a couple of launches. Go here, keep on trying to launch. Trying to figure out what's going on. This time I actually got a little higher. Control from here. But no, still gonna end up being too heavy on this side and come down and boom, boom, and then kaboom. Alright, so after all that, I go back and I redesign it. This is the new design. Looks much sleeker, much better. I've already put everyone in it. I have replaced the heat things to be on the inside, most of the heat things. And once again, I still have that problem and I can't figure out why the heck it's launching to the side. It wasn't doing that in my testings. Because I put that thing there. Just like I did last time, because I wanted to resimulate right where we left off. But it did it again, and I couldn't figure out why in the world did it do that. That's a pretty nice swing. Also, I gave myself a lot better control. And the laggy. Wow, it froze again. I think I'm gonna have to restart. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of froze up in my system. So here we are. I'm trying desperately to try to make this thing fly. Can't figure out why. But you get to see it. It's much better looking, don't you think? It's much cleaner. I put the engines on the side. I put big engines up there on the so I have better thrust to weight ratio. They are also enable me to control a little bit better. But you just got a big old nice explosion. Boom. That black hole should cause like some type of super explosion, really cool or something. I don't know. Like suck all the pieces in and go poof. I destroyed Minimus with a black hole. Singularity reactor. Alright, now power control, we activated it. Yeah. Right, start up. Reactor control, we have full power. And deactivate this. Next fusion mode. There. Delta V status. And we're going to try to launch yet again. And we're gonna release. Control from here, SSA. And this time I take a little bit slower. Oh, I could blow that up. That sucks. But once again, I am tilting. And I can't quite figure out why, but I figure I can try to fly it. So I get myself a decently amount high into the sky, just random with small burst. So I'll skip forward. Get myself up a little higher. There you see, you keep bursting and I keep on trying to figure out why is this happening to me. Just small steady burns. So yeah, even though it says I only have 3,000 delta V, because of all the ore I have and I can transfer it into liquid fuel, I have a much higher delta V. I have like 40,000 delta V total if I just used it on that. So here I finally figure out that it is that. So I have him climb out, and I have Bill climb out. Better position this time, not the same problem. And look at this, it changed it. So that is the problem. That's where I figured out that was the problem, that thing. So I have to continuously deep throttle up, slowly but surely, and I continue to do that, slowly but surely ascending into space, and until I have to reload there because I over throttled, and continue to keep throwing up. Now eventually, once I get into a safe place, I decide to fix the problem. I assign that to the side, and I take this and I set it, attach it right in the middle, but it blows up both of those things, so that don't work. So I just have to reload and try again. And I did it off screen. It took me like 5 or 6 tries, but I finally did it. I did end up losing one of them. Skip forward there. So now with it right on top in the front, I have perfect weight ratio. I did end up losing one of my what's it called, though, but that's fine. I didn't need it in the first place. I just needed to start up. So, see, it can be built. I'm not going to build that though, because that'd be big and bulky. I'll leave it there. And now we are flying out into space. The first voyage of the Explorer. Warp here. First off, we're going to Duna to rescue Bob. Yes, we're going to rescue Bob. We have Bill and Jebediah. So we need to go get their brother. Poor Valerie, which I like to say is Jebediah's either sister or wife. I'm not sure which. It depends on how old you are. If for you personally, if you're young, you like to think that she's another sister and she stayed home, or if you think she's a wife and she's a stay-at-home mom. she stayed back there, and Jebediah flew out here on the grand adventure, as men will do. But it's not too long. He goes. I mean, the grand with warp drive, it's not going to be like a year-long thing. Maybe a couple weeks. So our target Duna is 10,000 faster. Here I actually, because size makes a difference, I try to actually be a little bit more precise with it and try to do the science on it. So I line up myself retrograde because we were really fast compared to it. We're Kerbin and Dune is in a lower orbit, which means we would be going too fast. So I need to go away from it to match speed. So you see, I've lined myself up in a direction, so when my curvature, my turn will be going pretty much away from, because I'm going to be going towards my apolepse, which turns. So here I'm trying to get my apolepse to be almost exactly in line with the descendant and ascendant node. There we go. Background going really fast in the background. So being very, very precise. It didn't need to be this precise, but just down. Going down. Pretty accurate. Then we're just going to go ahead and speed up time, and I'll lose hopefully about 5k speed ms comparatively. That's what I was hoping for. And I think I do achieve that. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead because you guys don't want to watch me do the rest of the dance. I'm just trying to be an example here. So try to show you, try to fly away from Duna so we do lose speed. There we go. We're losing a lot of speed. We just lost 3. A little bit over 3k. I think we were at what, 11? And now we start gaining because of the apolepse. So then we just gotta keep doing our dance around the sun. And you see it messed up a bit. Here we go. I found a good place in the sun. We're flying away, we're flying towards the sun, which are actually flying towards Duna at a greater speed, because I'm not quite sure how that would work. But I found so we're actually flying straight towards Duna. Have to be careful when not to fly into the sun when you do this. So 2K I decided was big and good enough. I didn't want to get too close to the sun. And I finally fly off towards Duna. At least I try to fly off towards Duna. Taking a while. I will skip forward so you don't have to watch me fly off toward... Oh, I actually was still trying to lose more weight. I thought I was flying off toward Duna. Here we go. We're still losing some delta V. There, we fly toward Duna. Here we go, flying toward Duna. We're gonna lose some, or also lose more delta V just by letting time go by. That's what we're gonna do. Because the Duna has a decent amount of gravity, so we're gonna let time go past. We're gonna bleed off another 1,000 delta V. MS, which would take about no, actually we only did bleed off only like 300 there. Huh. Okay. Duna doesn't have as much weight as I thought it did. Maneuvering. There we are. Now I'm going to let myself fly away again, and this time at the same time burn. I have a 1 thrust to weight ratio here on Duna, but still have to burn about 1,000 delta, 1K delta V to get into orbit. Oh, not actually. Nope. Okay, not quite. We're gonna keep burning, even though I'm not gonna land on Duna. I would get myself killed to try to land on Duna, but we're gonna go ahead and rearrange our orbit using our warp drive here. And we're going to try to align ourselves so when we do get in orbit, it'll be in a perfect orbit around Duna, so we can more or less send down the Duna rescuer. At first I tried this angle, but it turns out that this angle wasn't good, so I've got to eventually I got to come back around a anti-grade 720. Or unless I go all the way around, I can't remember. I think I do end up doing all the way around, a full 90. Not 720. What was my 270? Okay, yeah, 270. And I go all the way back to the side until this thing goes over, right over top, or close to over top. We're adjusting our orbit. There we go. Not quite there, but close. There we are. A straight shot over top. And then we gotta go ahead and do a delta V burn. A retrograde burn. Retrograde. And fire up the engines. Boom. Going pretty well. Skip forward because it's a long burn. A really long burn. Maneuvering, trying to get in a good position around it. Adjusting maneuvering nodes. Burning. Alright. Now we're in a really good orbit around Duna. It's now time to release my Bob Hunter. Gotta find it though. Wherever it's at. Where are you, Bob? Oh, you know what? I didn't actually build a Bob rescue yet. So I've got to build it. Because I forgot I had to reload and build a new ship. So I've got to build my Bob rescue. There you are. "28 minutes. Not a big deal. It's pretty amazing. 45 productivity on the ship. So we'll just let it spin around here and build my Bob rescue. And I do believe that's all we have time for now. So I will see you next time. I hope so, at least. See you later.